So last minute check for where I see darks. The next place I reckon is the darks in these palm fronds here. So let's have a look at how you paint palm fronds without doing every single piece of the frond. I'm going to take this dark and make it slightly lighter. Little bit of medium just to help it to flow. But you have to have enough paint on your brush that that's going to work. And what I can see there is there's a bit of a gap in that top frond there. There's kind of a, which one am I doing? The top one here. I'm going to trace the curve where I see that air, and then on the other side of it trace another curve where the little sliver of the sky shows through. And then I'm just going to do big broad brush strokes. So I'm going to go here, here, just really keeping these brush strokes really loose. But this will definitely give the impression of palm fronds. So the other side is quite dark. So you can even just put a dark stroke along there and then come in and do just a few random brush strokes to make it look a bit frondy. So these are really rough. I'll give you a close-up of that. Like, it's really rough, big chunky brush strokes, but it's an impression of a palm tree frond. Alright, so if you do that, similarly, I've got a little bit of yellow on my brush, so I'm sort of using a combination of the dark green and then a bit of the yellow pushed in. So there's a bit of mishmush on my brush where it's got dark and light, but that's okay because that nice mixture makes a very interesting palm frond shape. So there's another one here where it's just kind of coming, it's quite curvy, and then there's gaps in between on this end. So if we just put little gaps where it's pulling apart here, and then as we come onto this tree we've got to clean up this edge. Remember, you don't have to do all these palm trees that I'm doing. You can just do a couple. So I'm going to do little skinny bits here to show the gaps in between where it breaks apart. And then here is a frond that comes down here, but then there's a big gap. And this comes down here and meets the tree again. You may find you need to clean up the tree trunk later, but I quite like having a bit of mess in there on the edges. And then this one here comes out and it curves right down across where the ocean is. I'm doing a sword stroke, but I'm curving my hand to get the sword stroke. If you're a bit wobbly, then support with the other hand. Lovely little curving sword stroke coming down here. And on the top side as well. Make it as thin as we can, that center thing. And then we'll just do lovely little, it's a paler green, this one. Lovely little marks. They're breaking up towards the end. I need more paint on my brush. So they break up towards the end. Get skinnier and skinnier. And they do actually touch the other branch above. And then the underside is where it gets interesting. It's dark underneath here, dark in the center area. But then we'll go a bit lighter with our lighter green and get these lovely marks here. Just really loosey-goosey brush strokes. Really lovely loose brush strokes. And see, that's just an impression of a palm tree without painting every single little frond. You're mad if you try and do that. Absolutely mad.